Another routine patrol, huh? Sergeant Ben chuckled, slapping my shoulder as we approached our fighters. Routine for you, maybe, I retorted, hoisting myself into the cockpit of my trusty F-35 Lightning II. I haven't had a decent dogfight in months. Ben grinned, settling into his own plane. Relax, rookie. You'll get your chance soon enough. The aliens aren't going anywhere. He was right, of course. It had been 5 years since they'd arrived, those sleek, silver ovals hanging silently in the sky, observing us with an unnerving detachment. They hadn't made any hostile moves, but their presence was a constant reminder of how small and vulnerable we were. Eagle 1 to Eagle 2, you ready to roll? Ben's voice crackled over the comms. I flipped a few switches, feeling the power of the jet thrumming beneath me. Ready as I'll ever be. We took off into the clear blue sky, our jets cutting through the air like knives. The alien vessels remained motionless, their smooth surfaces reflecting the sunlight. It was hard to believe that they were spacecraft, not some strange natural phenomena. You ever wonder what they're thinking? I asked, breaking the silence. Probably something like, look at those primitive humans with their silly little toys, Ben replied, a hint of amusement in his voice. I couldn't help but chuckle. You might be right. We continued our patrol, scanning the skies for any sign of trouble. It was a boring job, but it was important. We were the first line of defense, the ones who stood between humanity and the unknown. Hours passed, and the monotony started to get to me. I found myself staring at the alien vessels, trying to decipher their purpose. They were so alien, so different from anything I'd ever seen. It was like trying to understand the thoughts of an ant. Eagle 1 to Eagle 2, we're getting a blip on the radar, Ben's voice cut through my musings. Unidentified object approaching from the west. My heart skipped a beat. This was it, the moment I'd been waiting for. I pushed the throttle forward, feeling the G-forces pressing me back into my seat. Eagle 2 on your 6, I replied, my eyes fixed on the radar screen. The blip was growing larger, faster. It wasn't long before I could see it with my own eyes, a small, dart-shaped object, hurtling towards us at an impossible speed. What the hell is that? Ben asked, his voice laced with surprise. I didn't have an answer. All I knew was that it wasn't one of ours. The object closed the distance in a matter of seconds, its sleek form shimmering in the sunlight. It was unlike any aircraft I'd ever seen, more like something out of a science fiction movie. Eagle 1, it's getting close, I warned, my grip tightening on the controls. The object didn't slow down. It shot past us in a blur, so fast that I barely had time to register its shape. I whipped my head around, trying to catch a glimpse of it, but it was already gone. Did you see that? Ben asked, his voice filled with disbelief. I think so, I replied, my mind racing. What was it? Before Ben could answer, a strange sound filled the cockpit, a high-pitched whine, like nails on a chalkboard. I looked up, and my blood ran cold. The alien vessels were moving. They were descending towards us, their smooth surfaces shimmering in the sunlight. Their graceful descent turned into a terrifying plunge, and the once silent sky was filled with a deafening roar. It was like a scene from a nightmare, the sleek vessels transforming into monstrous warships right before our eyes. Hidden weapon ports opened up, revealing gleaming cannons and energy projectors that made our missiles look like children's toys. This is not a drill. Ben's voice crackled over the comms, his usual calm demeanor replaced by a frantic urgency. Evasive maneuvers, now. I yanked my fighter into a sharp turn, feeling the G-forces pulling at my body. The alien ships were closing in fast, their weapons trained on us. I could see the energy building up in their cannons, a blinding white light that promised destruction. Hang on, rookie, Ben yelled, his voice barely audible over the roar of the engines. I gritted my teeth and pushed the stick forward, diving towards the ground. The alien ships followed, their weapons firing. I weaved through the air, dodging blasts that would have vaporized me in an instant. The ground rushed up to meet me, and I pulled up at the last second, skimming the treetops. I glanced back to see the alien ships pulling up as well, their weapons still blazing. We're not going to last much longer, I said, my voice tight with fear. Just keep flying, Eagle 2, Ben replied. We'll find a way out of this. But I wasn't so sure. The alien ships were relentless, their firepower overwhelming. I could feel my fighter taking damage, the controls becoming sluggish. Suddenly, Ben's voice came over the comms again, but this time it was filled with a strange excitement. Eagle 2, look, he shouted. I glanced up, and my heart leapt into my throat. A massive object was rising from the horizon, its shape blotting out the sun. It was a warship, but not like any I'd ever seen before. It was enormous, dwarfing even the alien vessels. Its hull was covered in turrets and missile launchers, and a powerful energy cannon protruded from its bow. "Is that?" I started to ask, but Ben cut me off. "That's the USS Titan," he said, his voice filled with pride. "Our secret weapon." The Titan accelerated towards us, its engines roaring like a thunderclap. The alien ships turned to face it, their weapons firing. But the Titan's shields held, deflecting the blasts with ease. "This is Captain Mitchell of the USS Titan," a deep voice boomed over the comms. "Eagle 1, Eagle 2, fall back. We'll take it from here." I didn't need to be told twice. I pulled my damaged fighter up and away, watching as the Titan engaged the alien ships. The battle was fierce, the sky filled with explosions and energy blasts. But the Titan was more than a match for the alien vessels. Its weapons tore through their shields, ripping them apart in a matter of minutes. One by one, the alien ships fell, their wreckage plummeting to the ground. The Titan stood victorious, a symbol of humanity's resilience and ingenuity. I landed my fighter back at base, my hands shaking with adrenaline. Ben was already there, waiting for me with a grin on his face. "Not so funny now, are they?" he asked, gesturing towards the wreckage of the alien ships. I shook my head, still trying to process what I'd just seen. "No," I replied. "Not so funny at all." We watched as the Titan returned to base, its hull scarred but unbroken. A crowd had gathered to greet it, cheering and waving flags. "The aliens underestimated us," Ben said, his voice filled with pride. "They thought we were weak, but they were wrong." I nodded, a newfound confidence swelling within me. We had faced the unknown and emerged victorious. We had shown the aliens that we were not to be trifled with. As I walked away from my fighter, I couldn't help but smile. This was just the beginning. We had a long way to go, but I knew that humanity would rise to the challenge. We would explore the stars, we would make contact with other civilizations, and we would defend our planet from any threat. And we would do it all with the same courage and determination that we had shown today. The future was uncertain, but one thing was for sure, humanity would not go down without a fight. The weeks following the battle were a whirlwind of debriefings, celebrations, and a newfound sense of hope. The world hailed the Titan as a savior, a testament to human ingenuity. But beneath the jubilation, a seed of unease sprouted within me. I couldn't shake the feeling that we'd only glimpsed the tip of the iceberg. One evening, as I pored over the battle footage, a chilling realization struck me. The alien ships hadn't fought back with their full arsenal. They'd used their cannons and energy projectors, sure, but I hadn't seen a single missile launch or sign of their most devastating weapons. It was as if they'd been testing us, probing our defenses. My suspicions grew stronger when I stumbled upon a classified report detailing the analysis of the downed alien ships. Their technology was far more advanced than anything we'd ever encountered, with power sources and propulsion systems that defied our understanding. It was clear that we had barely scratched the surface of their capabilities. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, I delved deeper into the classified archives, spending countless nights poring over data and schematics. The more I learned, the more convinced I became that the aliens had a hidden agenda, one far more sinister than mere observation. Then, one fateful night, I stumbled upon a piece of information that sent shivers down my spine. A hidden message, embedded within the alien ship's communication logs, had been deciphered by our cryptographers. It spoke of a vast armada, lurking in the outer reaches of our solar system, waiting for the signal to strike. The aliens hadn't come in peace. They were invaders biding their time, studying our weaknesses. And the Titan, our supposed savior, had unwittingly given them the perfect opportunity to assess our defenses. Heart pounding, I raced to Ben's quarters, bursting through the door without knocking. "Ben, you need to see this," I gasped, thrusting the report into his hands. He scanned the document, his face growing pale. "This can't be right," he muttered. "They wouldn't." "They would," I interrupted. "They already have. We need to warn the higher-ups, prepare for the worst." Ben nodded, his eyes filled with a grim determination. "We'll expose their lies," he declared. "We won't let them catch us off guard again." Together, we embarked on a covert mission, gathering evidence, contacting allies, and preparing for the inevitable invasion. We knew the odds were stacked against us, but we refused to give up without a fight. And then, the unthinkable happened. The Titan, our mighty warship, the symbol of our hope, vanished without a trace. The disappearance of the Titan sent shockwaves through the military and the world. Panic spread like wildfire as conspiracy theories ran rampant, ranging from alien abduction to government cover-ups. But Ben and I knew the truth, a truth far more terrifying than any speculation. The Titan had been taken, not by force, but by betrayal. Our investigation led us to a shadowy organization known as the Obsidian Order, a group of influential figures who believed that collaboration with the aliens was the only way to ensure humanity's survival. They had infiltrated the highest levels of government and military, manipulating events from the shadows. With the Titan under their control, the Obsidian Order planned to establish contact with the alien armada, offering Earth as a tribute in exchange for their own power and protection. It was a desperate gamble, one that could doom humanity to servitude or extinction. Ben and I knew we couldn't let that happen. We had to expose the Obsidian Order, warn the world of the impending invasion, and rally the remaining forces to fight back. Time was running out. The alien armada was closing in, their arrival imminent. We had to act fast, but we were outmatched and outnumbered. Desperate, we turned to an unlikely ally, Dr. Evelyn Vance, a brilliant scientist who had been working on a secret project to develop a weapon capable of neutralizing alien technology. Evelyn had been ostracized by the scientific community for her unorthodox theories, but we knew she was our only hope. We found her in a secluded lab, surrounded by blueprints and prototypes, her eyes filled with a fiery determination. "I knew you'd come," she said, a wry smile playing on her lips. "I've been expecting you." We explained the situation, the Obsidian Order's betrayal, and the impending invasion. Evelyn listened intently, her mind racing. "I have something that might help," she said, leading us to a massive chamber at the heart of her lab. Inside, suspended in a glowing energy field, was a device unlike anything we'd ever seen. "This is the quantum disruptor," Evelyn explained. "It generates a field that can destabilize alien technology, rendering it useless." "Can it stop the Armada?" Ben asked, his voice filled with hope. Evelyn nodded. "In theory, yes. But it's never been tested on such a large scale." We knew the risks, but we had no other choice. We had to trust Evelyn, trust her device, and trust in ourselves. With the quantum disruptor in tow, we set out on a daring mission to infiltrate the Obsidian Order's secret base, where they planned to make contact with the alien armada. We fought our way through their defenses, facing off against their elite guards and advanced weaponry. But we were determined, fueled by our anger and the knowledge that the fate of humanity hung in the balance. Finally, we reached the command center, where the leaders of the Obsidian Order were gathered, their faces illuminated by the eerie glow of alien technology. "You're too late," their leader sneered. "The Armada is already here." He gestured towards a massive screen, where we saw the alien ships emerging from hyperspace, their numbers overwhelming. But we weren't giving up. With a defiant roar, we activated the quantum disruptor, unleashing its power upon the alien fleet. The effect was immediate and devastating. The alien ships sputtered and stalled, their systems malfunctioning. Their once impenetrable shields flickered and failed, leaving them vulnerable to our attack. With renewed hope, we launched our counteroffensive, our fighters and ground forces joining the fray. The battle raged, a desperate struggle for survival against an enemy that had underestimated our resilience. In the end, we emerged victorious, the alien armada shattered and defeated. The Obsidian Order was exposed and dismantled, their treachery brought to light. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and prevailed, not through surrender or collaboration, but through courage, ingenuity, and an unwavering belief in our own strength. In the aftermath of the battle, humanity found itself standing at a crossroads. The victory over the alien armada had been a turning point, a testament to our resilience and the power of unity. But it also left us with a profound realization: we were not alone in the universe, and our peaceful existence was a fragile illusion. The world governments, once divided and complacent, now recognized the importance of interstellar cooperation and defense. A new global alliance was formed, dedicated to exploring the cosmos, forging alliances with friendly civilizations, and preparing for any future threats. Ben and I, hailed as heroes, were tasked with leading a newly formed exploratory fleet, our mission to venture beyond our solar system and seek out answers about the alien armada's origins and motives. We assembled a team of the brightest minds and bravest souls, scientists, engineers, pilots, and soldiers, all united by a shared thirst for knowledge and a determination to protect our planet. Our journey took us to distant stars and uncharted territories, where we encountered wonders and perils beyond imagination. We discovered ancient ruins of advanced civilizations, enigmatic artifacts that hinted at a cosmic war that had raged for millennia, and signs of a hidden enemy, lurking in the shadows, waiting for their chance to strike. Along the way, we forged alliances with other species, some benevolent, others wary, all bound by a common fear of the unknown. Together, we formed a united front, a bulwark against the darkness that threatened to engulf the galaxy. As we delved deeper into the mysteries of the cosmos, we unearthed a startling truth. The alien armada that had attacked Earth was merely a vanguard, a scouting party sent by a far more powerful and malevolent force known as the Dominion. The Dominion was an empire of countless worlds, ruled by a race of beings known as the Archons, who sought to conquer and assimilate all life in the universe. They were ruthless, cunning, and possessed of technology that dwarfed even the aliens we had encountered. Our mission shifted from exploration to resistance. We became a beacon of hope, rallying the forces of freedom against the encroaching darkness. We shared our knowledge, our technology, and our unwavering determination with our allies, preparing them for the inevitable clash. And then, it came. The Dominion fleet emerged from hyperspace, a vast armada of warships that blotted out the stars. Their arrival sent shockwaves through the galaxy, a chilling reminder of the stakes involved. The final battle for the fate of the universe had begun. The first wave of Dominion ships emerged from the swirling vortex of hyperspace, their massive hulls dwarfing even the largest vessels in our fleet. Their sleek, chitinous armor gleamed in the starlight, bristling with energy cannons and missile launchers. They descended upon us like a swarm of locusts, their engines roaring a symphony of destruction. Our fleet, a patchwork of human and alien ships, met the onslaught with a defiant roar. Laser beams lanced across the void, piercing shields and vaporizing hulls. Missiles streaked through the darkness, detonating in blinding flashes of light and fire. The symphony of battle filled the void, a cacophony of explosions, energy discharges, and the screams of dying starships. I piloted my fighter through the maelstrom, weaving through a hail of enemy fire. My wingmen, Ben among them, flew in tight formation, their guns blazing. We targeted the smaller Dominion fighters, nimble predators that darted through the chaos, seeking to pick off our larger ships. Despite our valiant efforts, the Dominion's numbers were overwhelming. Their ships poured through the hyperspace portal, wave after wave, an endless tide of destruction. Our fleet began to falter, ships falling like dying embers, their crews sacrificing themselves to buy us time. Amidst the chaos, a transmission crackled over the comms. It was Evelyn, her voice strained but resolute. "The quantum disruptor is ready," she announced. "But we need to get it close to the portal, disrupt the Dominion's reinforcements." I glanced at Ben, my heart pounding. This was our chance, our last desperate gamble. If we failed, the Dominion would overrun us, and the galaxy would fall into darkness. "Let's do this," Ben replied, his eyes burning with determination. We rallied the remaining fighters, forming a protective squadron around Evelyn's ship. We plunged into the heart of the enemy fleet, dodging and weaving through a gauntlet of fire. Ships exploded around us, their debris raining down like fiery meteors. But we pressed on, our determination unwavering. We reached the hyperspace portal, a swirling vortex of energy that pulsed with an ominous glow. Evelyn activated the quantum disruptor, its humming resonating through our ships. The portal shuddered, its energy fluctuating wildly. The Dominion ships emerging from it began to malfunction, their systems failing. We had disrupted their reinforcements, but the battle was far from over. As the Dominion fleet faltered, a new threat emerged from the portal. A massive, organic monstrosity, unlike anything we had ever encountered. It was a living ship, its grotesque form writhing with tentacles and pulsating with an eerie luminescence. This was the flagship of the Dominion, the vessel of their leader, the Archon. It emanated an aura of malevolence, a palpable darkness that chilled us to the core. Our weapons were useless against it, bouncing off its organic armor. The Archon's ship unleashed a devastating energy wave, tearing through our fleet like a scythe through wheat. Our ships were vaporized in an instant, their crews lost to the void. I watched in horror as Ben's fighter was engulfed in the blast, disappearing in a blinding flash. Grief and rage surged through me, fueling a desperate desire for revenge. I turned my fighter towards the Archon's ship, my finger tightening on the trigger. This was a suicide mission, a final act of defiance against an overwhelming foe. But as I prepared to launch my attack, a blinding light engulfed the battlefield. A massive energy surge erupted from the heart of the Dominion fleet, tearing it apart from within. I shielded my eyes, barely able to comprehend what was happening. When the light subsided, I saw a sight that defied belief. A colossal figure, wreathed in golden light, stood before the Archon's ship, its form radiating an unimaginable power. It was a being of pure energy, its voice booming across the void. "Your reign of terror ends here, Archon," the figure declared. "You will not conquer this galaxy." The Archon's ship trembled, its organic form contorting in agony. The figure raised its hand, unleashing a torrent of energy that engulfed the Dominion flagship, obliterating it in a blinding flash. The remaining Dominion ships, leaderless and demoralized, retreated into hyperspace, leaving behind a scene of devastation and a glimmer of hope. I gazed at the radiant figure, awe and gratitude filling my heart. Who was this mysterious savior, this beacon of light in the darkest hour? And what did their arrival mean for the future of the galaxy?